Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Takbir!
Yeah, not Somalia. Welcome to New Jersey. Meet Adam Hamawy, born in Egypt. He's very likely heading to Congress in November after winning the Democrat primary last night in New Jersey. And if you look at his photo, he looks like a normal middle-aged guy, but he is not. 3 decades ago, he testified on behalf of the blind sheik, Omar Abdel Rahman, who was convicted of plotting terrorist attacks on, among other places, the World Trade Center. He worked as his interpreter. He was his friend. He even testified on his behalf as a defense witness during the trial and was accused of lying under oath. This guy's going to Congress now. As more and more radical Muslims run for office here, the plan has become clear. Instead of attacking us with airplanes, the attack will now come from the inside. They will sell our secrets. They will win more elections as the takeover happens from within.
Hamawy was a close disciple of convicted terrorist Omar Abdel Rahman, the blind sheikh, spiritual leader of bin Laden's terror network.
Sheikh Abdul Rahman surrendered to federal authorities at a New York mosque today.
Hard to imagine, isn't it? And think about the fact that this is the best that Democrats in New Jersey could come up with, a state with almost 10 million people. It tells you everything you need to know about the current state of the Democrat Party. Radical Muslims are running for the Senate. They're running at the state and local level, and people with ties to the World Trade Center bombing are now running just miles away from ground zero 25 years after 9/11. Michael Macko's father was killed in the 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center. Hedieh Mirahmadi is the founder of Resurrect Ministry and is also a former Muslim. It's great to have you both on tonight. Michael, how shocking is this that this guy is most likely headed to Washington in November?
It's very shocking, especially being someone who I was born and raised in New Jersey. My father lived in New Jersey when he was killed, and I live, just one district. I live in the 11th district, and I can't believe this is the best that we can come up with to represent us. And I think that people just have short memories when it comes to things like this.
Yeah, a lot of voters weren't around in 1993. A lot of voters today weren't even around in 2001. Hedieh, I want to play you a soundbite. This is a Muslim leader talking about the Muslim voting machine that already is in place here in the United States.
Elections where only 16% of registered voters will vote in them.
Anytime voter turnout is low and the margins are slim, we have the ability to call the shots.
Hedieh, have you ever noticed that Muslims don't immigrate to other Muslim countries? They only immigrate to non-Muslim countries in the West, like America?
Yeah, well, that's part of civilizational jihad. It's out of the playbook of the Muslim Brotherhood. And I think that that's an important clip that you played, because people need to understand in this 12th district, there were 770,000 people in that population and only 62,000 voted. He won with only 16,000 votes. Where were the other 710,000 people? They decided that this election didn't matter. And so we can't blame the Islamists for participating in the political process to overthrow our country. But where are the rest of Americans? Where are the Judeo-Christian community that want to preserve our values? It's just a tragedy.
Michael, the narrative is always, and I hear this all the time, that this is what's happening in Western Europe is eventually going to happen here in America. Do you think it already is happening here?
I don't know. That's hard to say, but something similar happened also with the New York City mayoral election with Mayor Madami, showing a photograph of Siraj Wahaj, the imam who also was an unindicted co-conspirator in 1993 as well. So, again, for me personally, someone who lost their father, in this, horrific act of terrorism, both recent incidents, are so painful and are, unbelievable that people, again, just have such short memories and are just willing to, excuse this, excuse this behavior as something, happened in the past, or it was, guilt by association. And it's, it's bad association.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. What does the rest of your family think about what just happened in just a few miles from where you live last night?
I think they feel similar, that it's that it's sad that we can't come up with better candidates. And again, personally, I'm a New Jersey resident. I'm a Democrat, and it's it's very close to home. And
did any liberal networks invite you on today? Were you on MS Now or CNN?
I was on no.
Okay. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. And I hope that the people in this district decide to vote for, the other candidate come November. But this is a hugely Democrat district. I just don't think it's going to happen.
No.
Hedieh, I've only got a few seconds left. But do you agree with my general premise that the attack is now going to come from within? It's not going to come, like it came in 2001 or in 1993?
Absolutely. That's the civilizational jihad, is to destroy our country from within. There's over 250 Muslim Islamists serving in posts across America. So this is happening in city after city. If we don't stand up and respond with political power, we're going to see it sweep through the nation.
Yeah, and I hope people in that district just wake up. This is important, and I'm just going to say this. There are no fewer than 15 Muslim. Again, this is not anti-Muslim, but I think it's okay to be anti-terrorist, okay, which I definitely am. But there are 15,
this is emboldening them.
There are 15 radical Muslim candidates running for federal offices and statewide offices next fall. Every single one is a Democrat. Some are running for the Senate. There's one in Michigan. There's candidates running for Attorney General. And there are Muslims running for Congress. You think about Ilhan Omar and her past. And I think it's fair to say radical, certainly in New Jersey as well.
Yes.
Hedieh Mirahmadi, Michael Macko, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.